Donald Trump often touts his success as a businessman, but a new CNN Money investigation shines a different light on his experience. The company he took public bought him millions of dollars in earnings, but came at a hefty cost to investors. Christina Leshy reports.
When it went public in 1995, Donald Trump's first and only public company raised $140 million from investors.
Thank you.
A decade later, Trump Hotels and Casino Resorts was bankrupt. A record not lost on this famous stock picker and Hillary Clinton supporter.
People that believed in him, that listened to his siren song, came away losing well over 90 cents on the dollar.
Investors lost out, but Trump made millions, even as the company's losses mounted. A CNN Money review of SEC documents finds that his salary, bonus, and options totaled about $20 million over 10 years. Another $18.5 million came from a web of deals. There were complex contracts that paid Trump for consulting with his own company, licensing deals in which the company paid Trump to use the Trump name, and reimbursement for the use of Trump's personal jet or his golf courses for VIPs. This may be a head-scratcher, but these kinds of third-party transactions happen all the time, and they're totally legit.
Lots of companies have these. Some of them are very small, and some of them are quite more complex. So this is quite usual to have these, but you have to be very careful in reporting them to make sure that you're letting the public and your shareholders know exactly what's going on.
The company did have a special committee to approve these kinds of deals, but its members had other ties to Trump. While that might raise eyebrows today, it was actually pretty commonplace 2 decades ago.
Go back and look at the financial statements of lots of companies, and they had a lot of their boards were filled with insiders, people who work for the company. Nowadays, we would view that as a conflict of interest, but simply back then, it was much more common practice.
21 years after he first sold shares to the public, Donald Trump is running for president on his strength as a businessman. The campaign didn't respond to CNN Money's request for comment, but it's pretty clear Trump considers the tale of his first public company a business success.
I did very well at Atlantic City. Then I took the company public. I took, a lot of money out of Atlantic City, which is what I'm supposed to do. I'm a business person.
A business person who made millions from a money-losing company. Christina Leshy, CNN Money, New York.
Some very unfavorable details there on some of Trump's business dealings, but will the new revelations have any impact on his campaign or the people who support him? Christine Romans joins me now. And Christine, it's unclear about whether I think his supporters care about this. He says, listen, this is how you handled business at that time. I did it well and, and consider it a success.
And, Donald Trump has done very well spinning a loss into a win, for example. You heard in that clip from Christina where Donald Trump even said, I got a lot of money out of Atlantic City. That's my job. That's what I do. I'm a business person. I won, even if that particular business lost. But clearly shareholders lost. The public who bought a share of DJT, which, of course, is his initials, which was the ticker symbol, the public, its only kind of public chance to invest in Donald Trump, came out on the losing end of that. So that's what's clear here. Maggie, it's stories like that, investigations like that, but it's also stories like Mar-a-Lago, his seasonal resort that hires foreign workers on temporary visas, even though the local labor officials say they do have hundreds, if not 1,000 people who say they're willing to go work there. It's stories like that. It's like making ties in China. Hillary Clinton has been going around the country at stump speeches, holding up ties made in China from Donald Trump and saying, here's somebody who personally profits on America's outsourcing to China. One after another, those might be starting to add up, because when you look at the polls are starting to shift a little bit. Donald Trump has been losing his edge on the who is better on the economy question. When we ask that question, who would do a better job with the economy? Who could better handle the economy? Today, 50% say Clinton, compared with 48% Trump. Now, Maggie, that's within the margin of error, of course. You can see it's pretty much tied up. But look at just past the Republican National Convention, how that has changed. And even if you go back to February, Donald Trump had far and away during the primary season, again and again, voters thought that Donald Trump would much better handle the economy. So something is shifting here. It also might be that some of the most recent economic statistics are kind of shoring up this idea that the Obama recovery may, in fact, be real. 5%, less than 5% unemployment. You've seen the U.S. economy hold in well, even as Europe has this Brexit problem. The rest of the world sort of stumbling here, and the U.S. stock market's at record highs. So it's sort of as if the business narrative has shifted here for Donald Trump.
Yeah, and I would throw in the fact that they're spending so much time on these other issues and not staying as focused on his attempt to frame the economic argument. That's also contributing here. Chris, great stuff. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Now, Hillary Clinton is hoping to give her campaign a boost by teaming up with U.S. Vice President Joe Biden. They're hitting the campaign trail together for the first time